and also, just in case, win or lose tomorrow, if you don't have time, if I don't have time to say it, I do want to give a shout out to. I thought the host city's been great, and it's not just because we've won 2 games. Everyone here at UCF has done a great job, and obviously the American Conference. My man OJ's right there, who I think's as good as you get. So, but I do want to say that everyone in the host city and the volunteers have been really, really good. It's been a great experience here in Orlando.
Thank you, Coach. Please raise your hand for questions.
Coach, as I mentioned before, Shaq, I think last 9 minutes of the game, you had him on the bench, some of the starters as well, I'm assuming for rest. But when you have a game like a championship that's so important coming up, how do you kind of keep those guys focused despite them not being in late?
Well, they're 18 and 22-year-old young men, and you're in that moment of the game. You're trying to beat Tulane, not worried about the next game, and guys are having fun, and I believe the more positive energy that we can have, the better. And look, we've been inconsistent this year, like as I've mentioned, and obviously there's been a lot of negativity that we've encountered, and rightfully so in a lot of areas based on some of our games that we dropped, and so it's good to see those young men have a good time and enjoy the win, and not take it for granted. Because it's hard to do that, and it's hard to win games. Winning is very, very hard to do, and so when you win, you want to be able to, to not take it for granted, because it's a hard thing to do.
Josh, can you tell us about your mind coach that the guys kept referencing?
Yeah, they're talking about this gentleman, Greg Graber, who does he called mindfulness. He does mindfulness, and he works with a lot of different teams and works with a lot of different college teams. But he's located in Memphis, and he just volunteers his time, and he does a lot of it's mindfulness, and it's kind of the new stuff. And our guys, I've always said this: we spend so much time working on our strength and conditioning and our X's and O's and building the body up, but so much of it's the mind, the power of the mind. And a lot of times we've had some, when we haven't played as well, or a guy hasn't played as well, it's strictly because of the mindset. So I've said this, maybe next time in the future, if I have openings on staff, maybe I need to, instead of hiring a basketball assistant, actually hire a sports psychologist, literally, because so much you're dealing with just the mind of it, and dealing with players, it comes down to dealing with so much with the mind. So, but they're addressing that gentleman by the name of Greg Graber. He's a Memphis guy and does a great job and works with a bunch of teams.
Question?
Coach, at this point in the season, you've scouted, you've seen the team multiple times. UConn has started to get a little bit hot, and Daniel Hamilton in particular the last few games has been pretty on. What is it about UConn that makes them so difficult to defend and play?
UConn's good. They got really good talent, and they got guys that can score. I think Jalen Adams is an excellent guard. I think he's going to be a guy like Nick Moore is in the league, where he's just that type of guard, that level. You can see how good he is. Everyone talks about the half-court shot he made yesterday, but he made some other big-time shots and plays that not everyone talks about, because everyone talks about that one shot. He's really good. He made some big plays again today. Hamilton's just excellent, and he's a tough matchup. And you got Gibbs, you got Purvis. They're good. Calhoun can shoot the ball. They just are a very good, well-coached, high-octane offensive team, and we're going to have to really defend. And we're going to have to do a great job against them if we're going to have an opportunity to win the game.
We just have time for 2 more questions. The gentleman in the back, and then we'll take it from you.
Yeah. So along those lines, did you see anything different from UConn in this so far in this tournament from your previous 2 meetings?
Look, and when you're going back to back, and now back to back to back, I don't know how much it comes down to the X's and O's. Really, how much strategy you're going to be able to do. It comes down to the Jimmys and Joes. We're going to have to get it done on the court, and it's going to come down to the players making plays. It's going to come down to the Jimmys and Joes, not as much the X's and O's.
Coach,
last question.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. The next 16 hours, talk a little bit about the preparation that you will put into tomorrow's game, and what will you tell them before the game for a chance to go to the NCAA tournament tomorrow?
You know, I've been fortunate that when we were in Conference USA, we had won 3 conference tournament championships. The difference is we would, based on the TV schedule, on that Saturday morning for the championship, we'd play literally at 10 a.m. One time in El Paso, we had to play at 9 a.m. and our game ended about 7 p.m. We had to get the guys up at 6 the next morning. So, you know, at least we have a little more time to sleep in the morning than those periods. But, you know, bottom line is we just got to, you know, get ourselves, you know, get off our feet, go back and watch some film, talk about some things, maybe a minor adjustment here and there. But in the end, I mean, we're going to have to play well, and we're going to have to, you know, our guys are just going to have to flat out get it done. I mean, it's going to come down to the players making plays, and we're going to have to do a great job of defending a very, very good and talented UConn basketball team.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.